to feel like you're surviving day to day like the government is looking the other way. Housing is safety. Housing is stability. Housing is healthcare. It's our foundation. But in a city overflowing with luxury condos and too many of our neighbors sleeping in tents and shelters and cars, that is not a failure of resources. That's a failure of priorities. We need permanent supportive housing, not endless, inhumane encampment sweeps. We need real affordable housing, built for real people, not real estate portfolios. And while we fight for these basic rights, we still have to fight for one simple and more important fundamental thing, and that's our democracy. I've worked in government 25 years as an ANC chair, as a director of constituent service on DC Council, as a legislative aide and a White House staffer, and as someone who has helped my neighbors battle landlords and navigate the complete system that's often seen designed to tear them down and make them quit. But let me tell you something. What Congress is doing to our nation's capital is not just disrespectful, it's un-American. Over 700,000 taxpayers live in this city. That's veterans, teachers, first responders, parents, seniors, you and me, people who are working 2 jobs just to pay the rent. And yet Congress treats us like second-class citizens, blocking our laws, undermining our safety, deploying troops in our streets. If that's not authoritarian control, I don't know what it is. It's time. In fact, it's past time for full DC statehood. We don't want symbolic statehood. We want full rights, full representation, and full democracy. Because the fight for fascism begins here. It begins by refusing to let anyone dictate and tell us that our city doesn't count. My campaign isn't about me. It's about us. It's about building a state where no one is invisible, where policy is rooted in lived experiences, where every person, housed and unhoused, young and old, black, white, and brown, has a voice and a vote that matters. If you've ever been overlooked, if you've ever been underestimated, if you've ever been ignored, my campaign is for you. Your campaign. The last election, I finished second, and I missed it by that much. But you know what it taught me? It taught me that this city was ready, that the people are hungry for a representative who has lived the struggle, not just read about it. Someone who will fight like hell because I've lived fighting like hell every day of my life. I give you this if you give me this privilege to serve you in Congress, I will carry your voice with me every single day. Not because it's politically convenient, but because I won't forget who put me there, and I won't forget who I'm serving. Because at the end of the day, I'm a servant leader. I lead through service, not demands. So Trump must go. I lead with compassion, not vindictiveness. So Trump must go. Now. I lead now, not careerism. So Trump must go. Now. I lead with values, not opportunism, because this is never about me and power. It is always about us. So Trump must go now. It's about the single parent trying to hold it all together. So Trump must go now. It's about the senior who deserves dignity. So Trump must go now. It's about the neighbor fighting to stay housed. So Trump must go now. It's about every resident in this city who has been told in ways big and small that their voice doesn't count. But it does, and you count. So Trump must go now. And together, we're going to make sure that this country hears us when we say, Trump must go now. So let's stand up, because Trump must go now. Let's speak out, because Trump must go now. Let's fight back, because let's show this nation what power to the people really looks like, because Trump must go now. Thank you very much. our nation's capital, and God bless America, because Trump must go now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Trump must go now.
Trump must go now.
Trump must go now.
Trump must go now.
Trump must go now. Trump must go now. Danger, danger, there's a fascist in the White House. It's up to us to drive him out. It's up to us to drive him out. Trump must go now. Trump must go now. Trump.
Good afternoon, Washington, D.C. Once again, it was my pleasure to drive down here from the great garden state of New Jersey to join all of you in the streets to demand that Trump must go now. I really want us to get to a very simple message that each and every one of us needs to share with the people who aren't here. We all have to be deputized as organizers in our home communities. The really simple message is fascism bad? Is Donald Trump a fascist? Do you believe that a massive grassroots mobilization here in our nation's capital that then spreads out into every town and city around the United States is how we will drive the fascist Donald Trump from power? If you here today, or you watching at home, just said yes, yes, and F yes, then please join us as we continue to be here in the streets of D.C. day in and day out. Spread it out into our communities around the United States. So now we've talked about why collectively we are all here. I would like to briefly tell you about why I am here. As was mentioned in the introduction, I am a Christian liberation theologian by academic study and praxis. I see at least one cleric out there in the crowd. Is there anyone else here that would identify as a Christian? You can raise your hand just so we see it. I want to see it. Please raise your hands. Okay. We have a special responsibility in this moment and in this movement, because the underpinnings of the movement that put Donald Trump into office is white Christian fascist nationalism. And it is imperative on us to go back to our communities of faith and challenge it at its very core. I don't know what those individuals think, When I read as a theologian the gospel, I see an itinerant preacher from Galilee who so shook the power structure in his own day that they hunted him down in the middle of the night, they trumped up charges against him, they beat him publicly, and then hung him on a dump outside of the city to die between two criminals. He was no imperialist. His message is one of liberation to the poor. He said, I came to bring good news to the poor. Generally, that means bad news to the rich and the powerful. And in this situation, Donald Trump has been both of those in the arc of his private life and in his public life. So I say to all my fellow Christians out there, the way that Donald Trump animates in this world is Academy in Lincroft, New Jersey, where I now serve as a soccer coach. Lean Republican, was going to go to Wall Street and be retired by the time I was in my 30s. Grew up with and had my entire worldview shattered. A company that completely violates everything that we claim to stand for as the largest Catholic university in the nation at the time. Nike was it. At the same time that I'm writing this paper over in theology, over in athletics, we are negotiating a $3.5 million endorsement contract with Nike. And part of that deal, I would have to wear and promote Nike's products. I took a stand, and I said I would not be a walking advertisement for a company that was exploiting people around the world. And I said that as a Catholic institution, we should not be in partnership with a company like this. And I was eventually given an ultimatum. You will wear Nike and you will drop this issue or get out. I was forced to resign because I held my ground. I became and still am the only athlete in the world to say no to Nike because of their sweatshop abuses. And I started getting criticized back then. I would go to colleges, high schools, be in radio talk shows, TV interviews. You don't know what you're talking about. Those are great jobs for those poor people. What the hell else would they be doing? Now, I knew from my academic research they were wrong. The athlete in me wanted to prove them wrong. That competitor in me wanted to prove them wrong. So in the summer of 2000, I moved to Tangerang, Indonesia. And for 1 month, tried to survive on a Nike sweatshop wage, $1.25 a day at the time. I lived in a rat-infested slum, crawled over by cockroaches each night. And I lost 25 pounds. Home, and I will advocate I spent 15 years working on that issue full-time, going back and forth across the United States, going back and forth to Indonesia to meet with workers over and over again. And I share this story not so that you clap for me, but I share it because each of us has to know our origin story and to be able to share it with people. Being kidnapped by God into the Nike sweatshop issue radicalized me on a range of Park, where we fought for affordable housing, where we fought for a homeless shelter to be built, where we fought for good jobs for people that were unemployed. of us care about. I imagine everybody here believes that health care is a human right? Yes? And its solution to dealing with our health care issue is a universal single-payer system called Medicare for each and every one. And driving up the cost of housing and the cost. Imagine that each and every one of you here believe that we should be spending more on military industrial complex to slaughter people around the world. I imagine each of you believe that we should not be funding and arming the genocide in Gaza. And that needs to stop. I would imagine that each one of you here believes that we should have a humane immigration. Constitutional republic and our representative democracy that